April 1st to the delight of fans worldwide. And we're all really excited about that here at Patreon as well. Everyone, please welcome Kevin Devine.
Hi.
Hey, how are you?
I'm okay. Am I audible? You can hear me all right?
I can hear you. I can see you.
All right.
Everything's working.
Hi.
Hey, how are you doing? How has life been?
Oh, no, nothing super exciting or interesting. Everything's totally normal, right? No, it's been insane. And right now, as we're doing this, I live in South Brooklyn, like Bay Ridge, Dyker Heights, the neighborhood. I live in a one-bedroom apartment with a hallway that separates the living room from the bedroom, and my 4-year-old is in the bedroom with the door closed watching Yo Gabba Gabba. You may meet her during this. She may run in here and assert herself. Um, Everyone's just figuring it out as it moves, right? And my version of that has just been similarly to listening to Zola talk to. Everything got canceled, middle working on a record, tours lined up. And when something's that far above everybody's heads, what are you gonna do besides try to receive and react, you know? So launching this was actually one of the first things we did, and it's been incredibly sustaining and affirming just in a month. So that's been like a big part of what's happened. It's been parenting and Patreon for most of the last month.
Parenting and Patreon.
Yeah.
Speaking of Patreon, a lot of your fans and listeners have been blowing up the YouTube chat with egg emojis.
Oh
What is
God.
what is that about?
You'd have to ask them. That is, from what I understand, something that came from a Discord server that
Okay.
popped up around. I'd been doing some kind of informal Instagram performances, and I think that they started their own little chat outside of that. And many of them, I believe, are patrons, Patreon site members. But they would be better to explain that to you. Someone gave me a long explanation of it, and it's in writing somewhere in my phone. But I know it's not malicious. I know it's supposed to be like sweet and supportive. So yeah,
I love that. And I love that your fans are kind of creating their own little ecosystem within the community. That's huge.
I think it's very cool. Yeah.
So I know you have a few songs for us, and we also have a special guest joining us for a conversation about collaborating in the modern age. So more on that in a little bit. But before we start your performance, I just want to remind everyone that if you have questions and or eggs for Kevin, to keep them coming in the YouTube live chat so we could talk about them after the performance. So excited to hear your songs, Kevin. Throwing it to
All
you.
right. Thank you, Erica. This song is called Little Bulldozer. Some nights I bolt and sleep in the car from the hood. Talk at your face in the stars. I tell you versions of everything. We share a smoke in the dark. I need you closer. Little bulldozer, I need you closer. Little bulldozer, oh, wake up. I'm nowhere drifting dead, inching forward. You better find out a shot. I'm scratching snakes in my skin. I want a fist fight, a cheap reminder. I'm always answering everything. When can I see you again? I need you closer. Little bulldozer, I need you closer. Little bulldozer, oh, 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 oh.
amazing. Thank you so much.
You hear everything
Also,
okay?
yeah, everything's perfect, and your fans are having such a fun time in the chat. It's so great. Everyone's posting eggs and singing along at home.
That's
Really
cool. That's
enjoying it.
well, that's cool that they're here. They've been really 30 seconds on that. They've been the audience I have is one of the most present, affirming. They're just it's kind of insane to me how connected to and supportive of they are, and they show up for these things, and it makes it feel very communal and extends out the sense of being like in your living room. Feels like you're in like a big living room. So I'm just it's I'm not surprised that they're here, but I'm always like grateful that they are kind of blown away by it. So hi everybody.
That's fantastic. So I know you have another song for us, right?
Yeah, sure, definitely. I do. I have as many songs as you want. On it, Manchester's they suck, so don't worry about them. Like I'll just play. And Anthony, that's the singer's name for Manchester Orchestra, right? Anthony? No, no,
Uh,
no. I'm sorry, Andy. Andy. I've met him once or twice. Yeah, he's. You don't need to talk to him. You know what I
okay,
mean?
perfect. This has become a Kevin Devine performance. That's
Yeah,
4 hours, just you on acoustic. Let's do it.
yeah, yeah. This next song's called "Forget About Anthony Hall" from Manchester Orchestra. Anthony Hall, you know that you're garbage. You know that you're trash. Just go out to the dumpster and never come back. No, you never come back. I'm looking at my microphone while I sing. That's weird. Yo,
What
I'm
a
just kidding. That's my dude. That's my people. I'm just joking. Come on. No eggs. No eggs at that.
Love it. So speaking of Andy, I feel like yeah, we have him on the lineup. We're really excited about it. But do you have one more song you'd like to share before we move on to Manchester Orchestra?
Sure. This one's called Manchester Orchestra's Trash. No, no, I do. I do have one more song. This song's called I Was Alive Back Then. All right,
Awesome.
cool. Okay. All my lives are coming through, and even though there isn't room, I save seats for myself. Invite them in, wish them well. The way I feel and the way I guess I felt. I was 23 and crazy, frightened, overwhelmed, and angry. You said that's not how I see you. You treat yourself unfairly. Don't treat yourself unfairly. I was alive back then. I was alive back then. I was alive back then. I remember when it was Christmas. We were wrestlers, Bay Ridge Parkway. Our apartment, we were fast and best friends. We were just little kids. You were Lenny Dykstra and I was Wally Backman. This was before I got so lonely. With my lovers, with my family. Scared of living, scared of dying, scared of being happy. I couldn't let myself be happy, but I was alive back then. I was alive back then. I was alive. Years before we would date, years before he'd officiate our wedding. You never know, I'm never ready, but all my fears just confetti. Let it blow around your bedroom when it gets too heavy. Don't let it get too heavy. I was alive back then. I was alive back then. I was alive back then. Nobody asked if I was ready when they handed me my ED. My mother said, son, you can't imagine. You'll have your mind blown, honey. You'll be crazy in love, honey. And I was alive back then. I was alive back then. I was alive back then. I remember when I was alive back then. Now I am again.
Bravo. Thank you.
Thank you.
What a great track.
Thank
Okay, so as promised, everyone watching, we have a very special collab moment. So join me as I welcome to the show Andy from Manchester Orchestra.
Yay! Oh, I can't see him. I gotta move my thing around to see him.
All right, so
There he is.
there he is.
I'm a
And also a reminder for everyone, if you have questions for Kevin about his performance or about Bad Books, his collaboration with Andy Holt, or questions for
former
Manchester,
collaboration. Yeah,
how's it
Kevin
going?
made it very clear we were going to continue to make music together. Wow. Can I just say, wow.
Do you
And
remember?
also, thanks a lot for playing the short songs. God, that last one's just...
Do you remember when we broke up on stage at 4 consecutive Bad Book shows?
Yeah. and we treated it like we were getting a divorce, and we would decide who would get Rob.
Yeah, that's right. Whose birthday it is today, right?
It is. Happy birthday, Ron.
Happy birthday, Ron.
How pleased are you that the form of currency on this platform are eggs?
It's totally also, there's no way for anybody to know how weirdly fixated I am on saying that in weird egg badon melosa egg, all kinds of weird things.
Oh boy,
and
yeah.
And yet, that has just happened. Weird, happy accident.
I was very excited. You look like a cute cowboy.
This?
Yeah.
I'm going to walk this child back to her mother after this. And this
I know, but yet you still chose to wear it for the performance in front of everyone.
I did.
Kevin, what's your favorite part about collaborating with me?
This part is great. This part is great. I feel like we are genuinely people who enjoy one another's company a great deal and laugh tremendously. Also, collaborating with Andy prompts me and forces me to be a more thoughtful and conscientious songwriter, and he's made me a better singer.
Wow.
That's an honest answer.
That is so nice. Thank you.
It's true.
I wish you could have seen me when you were doing that song, dude. I was howling.
You know it's the
He's
polar
trash.
opposite of true. You know that's the polar opposite of true.
I do. That's why I love it so much.
Yeah.
So I wanted
Any
to hop
questions?
in
Yeah.
and ask a few questions, even though I've been enjoying the dynamic between the two of you. I could probably watch that all day. But so I know you're both on Patreon now. Was that chicken before the egg thing? Because we got to bring the eggs back in, or did you both decide at the same
Have to.
time to launch your Patreon?
More or less, yeah.
Oh, Kevin
Um,
totally influenced us to do it. I saw what he was doing and how well it looked and how cool it was. And I had an idea that, we could really utilize a way to unearth a ton of this material from a record of ours that meets its 10-year anniversary next year. So once I sort of saw how well his looked and, felt like a legitimate, fan club subscription opportunity, you always toy around with stuff like this, but I think this was kind of the time, and he definitely gave me the motivation to jump in.
I feel like this kind of thing too is our audiences, our respective and shared audiences, really they're kind of I feel like our particular careers and the audiences we have are sort of built towards something like this where people get to really engage in such a direct way, and it sort of takes everything out of the middle and just puts you in a direct like pipeline to them and vice versa. And even though we both have some amount of infrastructural support in our careers, I think both of us our primary relationships are with our audiences, and so this was just, and the timing is obviously the timing. It's like when everything else goes away, how do you continue that relationship? And this was a way to do it. So
That's fantastic. So we wanted to get some fan questions in before we head over to Andy's performance. One question from Elizabeth for Kevin. What has been your favorite album to play songs from during all these live shows that you've been doing?
It moves around. There's so much. I mean, there's too much, frankly, music. It moves around, but I think that we did a full album one for a record from 2003 called "Make the Clocks Move," and that was just sort of because some of the songs had been in my head, and that became both really cool to revisit that time period and those songs, and also like weirdly, I was telling Andy this on the phone the other night, like kind of weirdly heavy after it was over because you like hung up the phone and everybody was gone and you're just kind of hanging out with your stuff from 2003 for an hour or two, um, which is cool and not cool depending on the stuff. But I did like playing those songs a lot, and I just sort of feel like I'm trying to play whatever comes into my head when we're doing these, so it moves around.
All right, one more question before we head to the performance, and
Of
it is
course, yeah.
for you again, Kevin. What's your all-time favorite collaboration?
By that I was involved with or by anybody?
I guess it's dealer's choice. They didn't say, so you go for it.
I think the all-time greatest collaboration
Oh God.
is probably when the presidents of the United States and America mix a lot of song together. that was that's in the Rock Hall of Fame for sure. I've been there. I've been to Cleveland a few times, so but
It's wild the very subtle tick you show when you're completely full of bullshit.
and that you knew it instantly is really tantamount to it's a relationship. And in the odd event that there's anybody that does not understand this, I just want to be crystal clear before I cede the floor to Andy, who to play and talk and bring us home. It could not be less true that Andy is like one of my favorite people that's ever lived in all of human history, and the same goes for his everything he does with his music, and that is a person that's like a weddings and funeral person in my life. So, all bullshit aside, Andy Hall, ladies and gentlemen.
Wow, that was great. It felt like we were at youth group.
And also one other thing I'd like to say, if I could just get the mic first.
I love it. Thank you so much, Kevin.
I love you, dude.
I love you
I feel
too.
like your intro was so perfect for Andy that I don't really have to say much here. I think if we go it your way to close out our inaugural music edition of the Show Up. So take it away.
Awesome. Thanks, y'all. This two twin deaf kids and they've gotta make an ungodly decision. They decide which one gets to leave this place, which one will forsake it to make it. Ooh. So the first kid says, in this temporal tone, I don't think there's a way to resolve this. We should wrap both these towels round our blistering bones. Wait it out in the closet. His brother looks him up and down and prophesies how all of this should end. He said we're buried underneath the yard and no one ever listens or visits. All that I know is no way to fix it. All that I know is no way to fix it. Ooh. It didn't really matter how it happened when it did. 'Cause when it happened, you reacted with this apathetic wince. So you try to wash it out, but that's your stain that won't dissolve. Man, we all believed in ghosts until you walked into the wall. So give up. So give up. All that I know, there's no way to fix it. All that I know, there's no way to fix it. All that I know, there's no way to fix it. All that I know, there's no way to fix it. Ooh. Thank you.
Thank you. What a great track.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, so I know you have one or two more songs for us.
Yeah. Are there any Q&As?
We actually do have a lot of questions coming in. One that was specifically around you and Kevin interacting and chatting, and this idea that maybe a new perk for your patrons should be a podcast with the two of you. Thoughts on that?
We've certainly discussed it. We think that's going to happen. So that's an exciting thing that I think we're starting to do. We enjoy each other's company a lot. I don't think it would be anything about music at all. I think it would just be two idiots. There are very few people in my life that make me laugh like that guy. And so, yeah, anytime I could spend more time around him is a plus for me.
That's fantastic. I see a lot of all capital yeses, some OMGs, some hell yeahs. So I'm pretty sure this is going to go over really well.
Oh, that's awesome. We just released our first Manchester Orchestra podcast today, just breaking down our record. And we filmed it like a 3-camera shoot and recorded it really well. So if you are subscribing to us, go check that out. It was a really fun experience to kind of deep dive into a bunch of tracks that we haven't really talked about before.
That's fantastic. All right, let's head into this next song.
All right, let's do it. Here's a song that is with my band with Kevin. The song's called Forrest Whitaker. I don't know the lyrics to that one. Let's try another one. All right, a little fake out for Kev. The song's called Cope. watch it all fall until it's dark. You both look exactly the same at night. I'd arranged the path our crosses, watched them fall into the floor. Made me stop, forget what we were fighting for. It's like everything that I ever have imagine's coming true today. Well, there is a cost, my friend, for living out some other dream to bind a consequence. It comes and goes in seasons around here. I thought again, there's nothing left around to heal sorry ignorance. If I do let go, I hope you never see. There is no one there that's waiting after me. And I hope if there is one thing I let go, it is the way that we cope. Well, now I hope there's one thing that we know. From the way that you and I will wander on, so that we won't become a lifeless lord that wanders round in hopes for sorrow. That I know, that I know, that I know, that I know.
Bravo.
Thank you.
So we have some more questions that came in while you were playing. One from who I assume is one of your patrons, Jordan, asked, Andy, will you be sharing any acoustic demos you've been releasing, or would they end up on vinyl or anything like that?
Yeah, so I am going to all of the like the solo demo records a couple weeks ago, maybe, gosh, when was it now? Maybe 6 weeks ago when all of this started. I released a couple of demo albums from years, like 10 years ago and 8 years ago. And they've been on Bandcamp, but I've just submitted them all to go to streaming services. And we are also printing up both of them as a double vinyl. So you can get both records as one piece. And yeah, we are planning on our Patreon releasing, I mean, really a ton of stuff. We talk about how we just want to do more and more. So I think there'll just be, hopefully really consecutive goodies that y'all aren't expecting, that aren't listed, that we're just going to kind of share, including some surprise live stream stuff and whatever. So, yeah.
That's rad. It's such a testament to how connected you are with your fans that every time they ask you about, like, would you do this? You're like, yeah, we're already on it. So,
well, man, we are very, very fortunate and grateful that we have fans who care as much about our music as they do. It blows our mind, and they know that. So thank y'all.
Awesome. We have a question from Ashley. She asked, how has interacting with your fans changed over the course of your career?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't know. I mean, anytime that I meet someone at a show, I am sure I've had an experience where I maybe was not focused or something. I could have come across a way, but I try really hard to meet people that they are staying afterwards and they want to talk or whatever. Like, I mean, these people are helping me live my life and do the thing that I like absolutely love to do and feel like I was born to do. So, I'm just grateful for them. I don't think that's really changed that much over the year. A record 10 years ago we released was just like, we thanked them on the opening track of a record. I think really what it does is because people like our music so much, it pushes me to want to continue to evolve and create past what I think people would expect of us to do next. And so it's a really, after we released our third record, I realized that they were going to be with me and stay with us, even though we were going to try some different things. And some of those things are for some folks' taste and are for other folks in the fan base. But like, I think everyone knows that we try extremely hard to make the greatest thing that we can and to change and evolve. And so I think just having that luxury of knowing that, even though it might not be someone's favorite thing that we do, they're still going to listen to it, respect it, and understand why we did it.
That's fantastic. I think we have time for one more song. So,
all right, cool. I'm going to play a short one that was pretty much never released. Cool. If you don't love me, someone will. If you don't love me, someone will. I'm afraid that I've wasted my entire life. If you don't touch me, someone will. If you don't touch me, someone will. I'm afraid that you've wasted your entire life. But I don't want love from someone new. No, I don't want love from them, just you. I'm okay that I've wasted my entire life.
wow, that might have been my favorite so far. Way to
thank you.
All
I
right,
should release it one day.
Definitely should. One more question before we have to close this, and I hate to close it because I've been enjoying the music so much. But one of your fans, Lindsay, asked, "Is the beard going to keep going and going during quarantine?"
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm working out like 5 times a week, and I'm working my hair and beard out 5 times a week. So my plan is to leave this pandemic as a Viking. That's the plan.
That's a solid plan.
Yeah, like you can either do the time or let the time do you. So I'm going to try and be productive and get myself healthy and continue working and stuff. But yes, the beard is not going anywhere. It's fun.
Do the time or let the time do you. I'm going to steal that saying moving forward.
It's a good one.
Good one. One more thing before you go. Is there anything else you'd like to share with your fans?
Just I love you so much. Don't leave me. No, y'all are the best, man. We are really enjoying this, Patreon or no Patreon. We are just grateful to be able to make music for y'all. And we have been hard at work working on a new record. And we are starting to see somewhat of a light at the end of the tunnel for what that means. And I just can't wait to share all these cool secrets that we've got coming forward with new music. Awesome. And also our Patreons expect new songs sooner than later for the next digital 7-inch. We're going to bump that shit up a couple weeks and you will be getting something soon. Do you hear that?
Great news.
Sitting on kids' toys.
Love
my rock and roll house.
Thank you so much, Andy, for spending some time with us and sharing your music in your home with us for a little bit. And we'll
have a great day.
You too.
Thanks, y'all. See ya.
Bye. All right, everyone. And that concludes the music edition of the Show Up. So thank you to all of our amazing artists, from John